Hi everyone, back today with another video. This one is just a video about how you can make gold flipping for tinderboxes. Basically, you buy one of the other four items, I believe. You need three of them, and we'll go through what items they are. You can see here there's a vial. You buy three of them, and then you switch them for a tinderbox. Now, the important thing of note here is that you do need significant gold outlay to do this initially. So I've just done a trial run here and I haven't actually figured out how much gold I've made. I'm pretty sure I'm in the profit. I did have a spreadsheet just to make sure what my minimum, my maximum price had to be before I purchased things for the swapping. But you do have to, I spent 250,000 gold, I think. Yes, I just double checked it. I spent 241,000 gold doing this flip. Everything has sold, and I'm just waiting for, I think it's 60 minutes before it goes into my mailbox for me to open it for you guys to see how much profit we made. I'm confident we're in profit. I just don't know what kind of percentage we're looking at. I don't know if it's an impressive enough profit. We'll find out, I'm sure. This was relatively easy, and this would be a lot easier if you had an auction house mount because I lost time running back and forth from the vendor here. Before we go any further, I just want to thank Aaron, who mentioned this in one of the comments. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. It's a really good way to make gold for people who don't have a lot of time. You don't have to do this in $250,000 lots like I did. You could just do, when they're cheap, buy a couple, go and trade them, and then go do a raid. You don't have to see her on the auction house like I did. I think I spent like an hour doing this morning, so not very long, and I was still in and out with my kids. So it was a lot of flexibility around making this gold and still having a life. So basically, for this flip, you go to the blacksmithing vendor in the capital city and you trade these items for a tinderbox. To make the trade, you need three of one of the following: ringing deep's ignance, vial of Kaheti oils, viridian charm caps, and gloom fathom hides. And it can be any of those. What I was doing was I just favorited these things on the auction house, and you've probably noticed while watching this, favorited these things on the auction house, and then I was buying three of them or more. Sometimes I bought in large intervals. You can see I bought some $25,000-$30,000 lots all at once, depending on how good the price was. I figured out in an Excel spreadsheet just initially what my minimum price was. And I found that with the price of the tinderbox where it is right now, which is 2,300 goldish, I found that 745 gold per thing was profit. And anything less than that was substantially more profit. You can see when the items are quite low, I buy a lot of them. You can go right up to 750, at least at the moment. Figure it out on your own because these prices fluctuate. Just have a quick look. What does three of these things cost me, and how much does it cost to list one of the tinderboxes? And make sure you're in the profit. Don't buy things that are more expensive than you're going to be able to flip them for. So you can see here the average price is 773 gold for this. And that is like squeezing in profit. We're talking not very much at all, like 2 or 3 gold for the flip. So don't do that. Just make sure you're checking what the price of the tinderbox is at the moment and then figuring out what your happy price is for buying the other items for the flip. So your price, you might have a lower tolerance for risk than I do. Your price might be much lower. I did manage at some points to pick up a couple of these for 700, for 710, as people were just offloading them. And I would actually manage to get a couple of the people who list for cheaper to steal your goods, basically. I actually managed to buy a couple of those. So I did really well at getting the snipers. And I made pretty good return on some of those. Like I said, I haven't opened the mailbox yet, but I can see listed in my auction house, the things have sold. I do recommend that if you're going to do this, to favorite the items, the 4 items you trade for the tinderbox and the tinderbox itself, so you can check updated pricing, so you don't drive yourself nuts trying to filter through it. There are add-ons for this, and I know you can use them. I don't know. I just really struggle with them. I find them just a bit extra in terms of, it's another thing to learn, and it can be a thing you can work out with a calculator on your phone. So I just did it that way. It's probably more efficient to use the add-ons, but if you've got them and you know how to use them, go ahead and do it. But if you don't, it's not necessary. I'm not using them, and I'm still doing just fine with my gold making. I realized after an embarrassingly long time that when you go to the vendor, if you shift clicked, you can type in a number instead of having to click yes for every box you buy. You can buy them in intervals for how much you have. So do that. It's much faster than what I was doing initially. You'll save a lot of time. If you don't have the initial gold outlay you need to do this trade, I advise you to go check out my other gold videos because I make lots of gold every week. I'm actually making a compilation right now where I show you how I've made a bunch of gold just this week. So go and check out some of those other methods if you're looking to kind of increase your surplus for these kinds of risky trades. And you can build up your gold before doing this. Another alternative is when you get the items, check on the auction house. Like if you get them from a delve or you get them from the piles of dirt that get the wax from it, if you get those items, go and check on the auction house whether or not it's worth converting them into a tinderbox before you list them. That's a good way to make some gold there if you don't have the outlay that I do to just buy insane amounts of it all at once to do this. If you found this video entertaining or helpful in any way, clicky on that like and subscribe button. It's free for you and it's super helpful for me. Just as a side note, the algorithm really likes it if you watch the video all the way to the end. I know it's a bit to ask, but if you could do that, that would be super helpful. I would really appreciate it. So now we've talked about how this flip works and ways to generate gold if you don't have the money to do the flip yet. We'll go look at how much gold I made doing this, and we'll see. So just as a reminder, I did spend 241,000 gold doing this flip. So when we open the mailbox, it's going to look a lot more impressive than it really is. So we're going to open it. Just remember, I did spend 241,000 gold to make the money I make from the mailbox. So we're logging in for the moment of truth. I haven't actually checked this yet. I have no idea how much gold we've made. Pretty confident we've made a profit. I just don't think it's a massive one. So we'll find out. I'll go open it now. So all of the items sold. And you can see we made 247,442 gold from this flip, which remember, not all of that is profit. Our profit is 5,614 gold. It's not an insane amount of gold, but so it's not going to replace my other gold farms, but I'm definitely going to add it to what I'm doing. I think every time you load stuff on the auction house, you put stuff up on the auction house, check to see if these things are cheap and buy them and then do the flip. I am going to add it to my routine. I'm not going to do this as a solid gold farm. If you spent a day on this, you could probably make a lot of gold, but you'd have to have a lot of gold to start with. So I'll definitely be adding this one into my rotation. I reckon I'll get an extra 10,000 gold, maybe 20,000 gold a week doing this just in between uploading stuff on the auction house. That's all for today. And as always, remember, girls don't play WoW.